Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Now let's do it one by one, but you can try first.
Um, oh my God. No change.
You would like to make it change, but I don't think so. Because no change, there is no verb. If you here we find the phrase, and here we find a positive phrase to describe the canal. So if we choose an A, it's a study. So what happened to the study? Because we have only phrases.
Mm.
So we need verb, so I think it's letter C. So all of them fragment except C, it is complete sentence. Here we have
Okay.
verb, here it's a phrase, here again it's a fragment. So here we have subject, we have verb, and then we have complements. So it is correct. Right.
Um, G. Huh?
How for number 2J, why not 3H?
Hmm. Okay.
Let me give you a hand.
Huh?
Yeah, let me help you for number 2 and 3. Yeah, number 2, it's H because this is part, it's a definition for this is one. So if we delete it, we will lose definition of the trees. It
Mm.
defines, okay, but it does not define what constitutes a rainforest.
Mm.
Definition for what set? He said the layer of branches. So F and the G, it's out of the content of the sentence. So when I find this a question, I must read the whole sentence, not only the underlined, and check all the definitions. For number 3, it must be letter A, but why? Number 1, before calling, it must be complete sentence. It's already complete. How did you know? We have subject and verb and then complements. And information after the calling to tell you what is the type of the plant. So calling
Mm.
it. For little bit redundant, we don't need which are.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to use which are here, it must be a question. This is full stop. So B is wrong by all means. Again, after
Mm.
colon, it must be complete sentence, as we agreed. Okay, but this is one word, and it's a noun only. So it's a fragment. So C is wrong. Letter D, it's not better to keep it without punctuation because what is the relationship between this word and the sentence. So this means we need to use dash or calling to show the relationship between this part and the sentence. So here A, the best punctuation.
Okay.
For number 4, he wanted to say here, what is the best transition to the next sentence? So what is this next sentence? So it must be this one, from full stop to full stop. As he said. So are you still here?
What?
Are you still here or there?
Yes, I'm here.
Fine. Now we need what is the best transition for the next sentence. We need to know. He said, instead, their leaves absorb dissolved nutrition from mist and fogs. So instead, here transition work to explain the relationship between this part and this part. So he said these plants grow on other plants, such as tree. So here he said grow on other plants. Instead, their leaves absorb dissolved nutrition from mist or fogs. So what is the important information it could tell us is to explain how many species. No, the next one it tells they do not rely on their host for food, but they take their food from mists and fogs. So we're talking about how or what is the source of the food. So letter J is related to the content of the following sentence.
Okay.
If you read the following one, it will find it again. It talks about the nutritions. How do these trees or these plants find their food and nutrition? It does not talk about the examples here of common plants. It does not talk about thrive or survive despite in hospital conditions or terms of father or something else. So we give you content not related to the sentence before or after. So the word transition means read the brief sentence, read the following sentence, and check what is the best content related to the topic.
Okay.
For number 5, let me answer it and how. It must be letter A, but why? Number 1, however, transition words. So we have 2 ideas. What are the 2 ideas? The briefest sentence, this is here, and the following sentence, this is one. Now, do we have any relation? Let's see what is the relation could be there. Now here, he said, found that the perfect nutrition is made up about half of the nutrition in the tree foliage of tropical cloud forest. Okay, so made up half. Second one, almost no one had studied them. How? Something opposite or unexpected, surprising. If you so it's not example. It's not cause and effect because the effect it must be that they have studied. But here I said no. That means, of course, it must be letter A or any transition word for contrast. However, for the last, although, whatever it is. The expression in short, it means the writer is going to summarize the previous idea, but this is not summarize. This means, so C is wrong. This is called here, how do I? So transition words, it could be like this way. If I don't understand the previous ideas, I can read more. If I don't understand the following, I can read more. Don't depend only on one sentence, but you can read the following ideas, the previous ideas. To help you.
Okay.
Now it's your turn. Try.
H. لا G.
So letter G, sure.
Yeah.
So number 6, it must be letter G. So why? Because he said they, it generates. So they plural, so it must be J. And the J here it is correct. sometimes people say, but could be wrong. It's called hacks. What is a hack? If you found the singular, 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 three singular, delete. Three plural, delete. But there's not a common hack called guess not proof. So very important, but you should find it. Now we need number 7. Try.
D.
So 7 letter D, no, must be letter A. What?
Why?
So now, do you remember the modifier? If you start
Yes.
phrase like present participle phrase, after the comma, you need the subject who did this action. So
Huh.
this present participle phrase and then complete sentence, subject verb complement. So now ask yourself, who did or what did this action? Peeling back the moss of a branch, who? The tree, or this person?
The person.
Peeling back the moss. So this means this person. So we need human. Why B is wrong? Because you start with preposition phrase and there is no subject. That
Yeah.
means so don't assignment. So B is wrong. Now number 8, half a time.
No change.
No change and no change, it's correct. But wait, you have taken a lot of time for this question. Always read the sentence from beginning to the end. You will find subject and then verb. Oh, but between them none essential. So you need a comma in this part. You see, here we don't have comma, so both of them wrong. Don't look here because already we don't have comma because we need the comma. Remember, always look at the question carefully. The underline does not touch the comma. That means it's compulsory to use a second comma. So compulsory to have comma here.
Okay.
Here, do we have comma? Yes. But do we have comma here? So they wanted to make this non-essential. And then non-essential? No, this is expression. We cannot say
Yes.
comma here or there. It's common mistakes. So this is letter G is wrong. Now check the meaning. So so the now if it is here, this is called the plurals, and here we have plural. So that is plural or singular what? So it must be plural, right?
Yeah.
This is the second one, so it must be plural. So it must be letter C, because it's a plural. Is it plural or singular? I don't know, but just check the context. Here he said by, so it's a plural, and he said branches, so it's a plural. You see, so we're talking about the trees, so it's a plural. That is. Another one, it's a common hack. Singular, 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 C plural. So 3 singular, wrong. You will find it C. But remember, don't use hacks a lot. We use hacks when we find the question difficult. And time is running and I'm nervous. Now you can't take risk. That's why.
Okay.
Number 10, have a shot.
I'm confused. Huh?
Yeah, what's your answer?
No, I'm confused. I don't know how to solve it.
Always look at the question. Let's prove why J correct. We have studied before a chapter called redundant.
Yeah.
When you see the answer of delete, you must think about two ways. Is all of them the same meaning? So choose delete. If all of them already repetitive in the paragraph or in the essay by using memory, so now we that is get nutrition from the crown. Yes. Okay, Tamar, the same one we did it before. Yes or no? Look, we mentioned it here when we read number 7 and 2, and so they get the nutrition from the soil.
Yes.
The same or not? That is means it's repetitive. And why should I repeat the same idea again in any paragraph? That means you should delete it. So delete is the best answer. Right?
Okay.
So it's called redundant.
Okay.
Let's try 11.
See?
Number 11, letter C. Why not be A?
Because before fanboys, we need a comma.
And what is a fanboys? How did you know it's fanboys?
Ah.
Is that is a sentence? If it is, so and fanboys?
Yeah.
Fragment. Here, this part, okay, as we agreed before, and after fanboys must be complete. So if and fanboys, so this part must be complete, but it's not. Because it's only subject more than 90 such papers. What happened to the papers? There is no verb, so it's a fragment, so wrong. So and not fanboys here.
Okay.
Okay. Here, and so here not fanboys. Now let's prove together why A is correct. Number 1, follow the rules. Is before calling the complete?
Yes.
Right here, Nat Kearney has published 3 books, correct? But after the calling, it's not explanation.
Mm.
Yes. And something else you can do it. Here, Nat Kearney has published, and I stopped. Published what? There is no object. It means before calling, it's already fragment. It means it's
Mm.
wrong. And if you guess that before calling it's complete, okay, but after calling it's not explanation as we agreed before about the rules. That is means B by all means wrong. Again, if I sit here, published 3 books, and that means you add comma. So is and here fanboys? No, because the second part here fragment, it lacks a verb. So C is wrong. Now again, do we have any reason for this comma? Wrong. Why? Because you separated the verb from the object by unnecessary comma. So D is wrong. Okay, but why A correct? Why A correct? Because it's a compound. And here Nat Kearney has published what? 3 books and papers. We have object and object, so we call it compound object. So imagine it like that. Subject, did, action, object, and object. So I told you before, we can use compound subject, compound verb, compound object. And this is structure already correct. So letter A correct. That's it. So sometimes I must follow the rules. I will find it very easy. So memorize the rules. Now let me tell you a secret about number 12. Number 12, most common impact tests. The test maker give you 3 answers with transition words, transition word, transition word, transition word, and answer without it because he started with she. And the letter G means the writer wants to continue without the transition words. If you found it in your test like that, it shows without it. This is called hack. What means hack? Common guesses. Means just like most common, many tests must be like that. But always use your mind, but very quickly. Why very quickly? Because there is no time. Rather, what means rather? That is the point. So you must now search, and I will send you inshallah notes, all the uses of the word rather, because it comes in many tests. But rather here to express contrast. Do you have any contrast between the preface idea here?
No.
This is preface idea. Yes, and the
No.
float idea is this one. So by reading a lot, you will find also he said also. That means this is sentence, it's addition, not contrast. So with thinking it must be a wrong. In other words, the same idea. Is this one the same idea? Of course not. So wrong. Is it an example? Wrong. But this is called like a coincidence about that without transition word, etc. But from my experience, more than 50 tests, it must be like that. If you find the 3 transition words and 1 without, it should without.
Okay.
That's why. Number 13, one of the question in your test will ask you for a specific task in the question. We need a specific target in the question, not from your mind. Which choice most clearly conveys, communicates, explain, emphasize what? Senate Carney's research is ongoing. We need an answer to say it's still happening. It's a concurrent. It's current. So if I said here, her work has demonstrated, you already explained that, explained. Here is no, but here continues to uncover. So continue means it's going on. So letter C is the best answer from A and B and D. Because it tells the continuous means ongoing. So it must be letter C correct. This is. Now number 14. Number 14, you have no any question. So remember, always read the sentence from the beginning to the end. To answer 13, I read from the beginning to the end. 14, I read it again. Don't test your memory. Now look at the answers. You see that this is one, the shortest answer, and it's the same. Trees, look, and then trees. Okay, now let's use redundant. Crucially means important. Oh, now it's redundant or not?
Yeah.
Redundant. So choose the shortest answer. So letter J very quickly. Remember, the chapter of redundance means we repeat words or phrases or clauses with the same meaning. It can be adverb like that with adjective. It can be anything, but the same meaning. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Here he said rainforest. Already we know it because you said it. So from that's it. Here you said which is, we know that he studied. Look, her work. So repetitive. So it could be repetitive in the underlined or in the sentence or the previous sentence or the following sentence. But if you find the repetition like that, so the trap about the redundant to choose the shortest and run away. Remember, your time for any question only 35 seconds and sometimes 15 seconds. Now, the last question comes in any test. We test you for the primary purpose of the essay. Could be essay, it could be text, or whatever the question is. So the writer's primary purpose had been to what? What is the primary purpose? Is to discuss this part. To discuss one scientific contributions to a particular field. So that's it. So I must go to check. We are talking about the contributions of this person, yes, her work. demonstrated critical role, and through the passage from the beginning of each paragraph from the information I read. But don't trust your memory. Always check the reasons. Is it mentioned in the text or not? Let's revise. Is it focus on how this person first interested in studying this one? Is all about that?
No.
Or he mentioned the research and epithets and
Yeah.
this could be strong reason. But wait, don't make decision. Continue. Because it primarily describes how these in the canopy create crown. Is all of it about? Or this is like a
No.
specific point only? So not all of it about it. So she is wrong. Perfect. Now, it primarily discusses how Nutkarn's hypothesis differed from other. In the passage,
Yeah.
talking about the comparison between her work and other ones. So this is one is wrong. So letter B is correct. So letter B strong reason. That is what I'm telling you about. The same ideas of this passage, it will be in another passage by different content. That's it. So all the rules we have studied in our book for the chapters, the same compound subject, compound verb, every note. And remember, we have more than 75 of tricks and skills in any test. The same. So if you made a mistake in any test, remember you will make it again. And 25 only about the content. If you saw common mistakes, 75. Always, if you find any mistake, revise it more. Now let me answer number 16. Number 16, we have a hack. What's it? If you find any answer has the word being, keep away. What means keep away? It means check, do we need it or not? Now, I read the sentence always from the beginning to the end. Why? Why I read only this sentence? Because the question about punctuation, about the structure. So why should I read all of it? So that's it. Very important. So check from the beginning. 8 in October, so we have adverb phrase, we have comma. Yes, because if we start this sentence with phrases, we need comma. So we need it. And then New York City American Ballet Theater. And then being it is a phrase. So being delete. And then I will delete. I'm deleting the phrases. Look. Now, is this part sentence or fragment?
Sentence.
Wrong. The part. This part, not all of it. New York City American Ballet Theater. It's a subject. There is no verb. I delete. Remember, I always delete the phrases first. Now let's find the phrases together. Preposition phrase. And then present participle phrase. Because being verb plus ing. And then preposition phrase. And then preposition phrase. Now what is left? Late, New York, American, place it. What is the verb? So if you delete on the it's a fragment, but it must be sentence because you have full stop. So F, it's a fragment. Now you know what is the trap. We test you, is it sentence or fragment? That's it. So later we can revise this chapter. Again, if I use the G, you make it close. Okay, but if it is close, we already delete the phrases and the clauses to know it's a sentence, a fragment. So if I delete this part because it's a clause, okay, so what is the verb again? So it's a fragment again. Now in letter H, you have subject and verb. The American place it. So the letter here subject and there was verb and then complement. So correct. Letter J, it lacks verb because I delete both. I delete being. If you delete being, there is no verb already. So there is no verb in the fragment, means wrong. So J wrong. Is that easy or hard?
Easy.
Now let's test the hacks. That if you find any answer at the word being, it's wrong. Here it's a coincidence to be wrong. It's a coincidence. But most of them. But you can take my experience that 95% any answer has been wrong. Remember, I'm not telling you to take risk, but I'm telling you about the sense of the exam. That's all. And remember, this is a test, not an exam, because test it's so hard. We test your aptitude, your knowledge. So H, it is correct. Number 17, we have a specific target we need to read. The dancers were, so we need something to say that the dancers were approached individually about performing the title. Which one of these express individual at once? So they came in a group at once. How? Or at once or in a second. Here we need how. But when we say one by one, it already means individually. So it's so easy. To catch it?
Yes.
But why not meanwhile? Because meanwhile it's a transition word. Express that this action happened at the same time with this action. But this is the target in the question. That they happened at the same time? Or that they approached individually, one by one. So here it must be letter B. So it means you are restricted to the target of the question only, being focused on the question, the specific task. That's it.
Okay.
Another question, we test you for deleting. Deleting what? He said the underlined portion. If we delete it, what will we lose? We will lose the meaning of the sentence, not the underlined only. Let's try. So with so little time to learn this part, all refused. And dash, remember, all refused, it's a sentence, subject verb. And this verb does not object because it's sentence, because we have dash. So before single dash, it's a complete sentence already. So all except initial answer. It's emphasis, that's why we have dash. Okay. But the problem here, which information here or explanation related to the sentence? Does it indicate the amount of time? Do we have time? A dancer is on stage. He said so little time. Do we have any specific amount of time? No.
No.
It's little time. He didn't mention how many minutes, how many hours, what's that? This means wrong. Does it demonstrate the rarity of dancers? Do we have anything here about rare? He said so low time to learn is a part. Didn't mention about it's rare or scarce or something else. You know it? So this means it's wrong. Does it illustrate how? So take the words how, when, where, why, the questions. Does it tell you how the prima ballerina had memorized the role? It's not related to this at all.
Yes.
Very good job. Out of mention. Why D correct? Because it explains why most of the dancers declined. What declined means refused to perform the role of this. Why? Because it takes so little time to learn the part. Feel it? So they refused because it's little time to learn it. How can I take this role? So it explains. And the test maker is a gentleman in the act testing, by the way. He gives you the look, the keywords tell you it's already yes. So without secret G. That's why the time of the question is very little. That's why. Number 19, I told you about common hacks. It happens in the test. After whom we use verb. After whom we use subject and verb. Now look after. What do we have after verb? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, do we need who or whom? We need who. It must be A or B. So here wrong. And already here we talk about persons, not which. So wrong. Now check. After had, we use past participle. Past participle. Is that past participle?
Yes.
Like here. After had, we need past participle. Is that past participle? Or when the
No,
past tense?
no, it's past tense.
So past simple tense, a second conjugation of the verb go. No, after having past participle, so B is wrong. So A it's correct. Is there any mistake in A? No. Who refers to Alonso? It's a human. And when it's a past simple correct. And here we have comma, here we have comma. So everything is correct. So letter is the best. Sometimes if you don't find the correct answer, find the wrong answer. That's why.
Yeah.
Now give me seconds. I'm going to send you a new link. You can visit your kitchen for any drink to book. Go.
Okay.